What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to GmiasWorld. Today what we're going to be discussing is something that's going to be very, very critical in your starting point of Madden 20 Ultimate Team. Now, this is something based on a lot of the things that you guys have been asking me. Shout out to all of you guys that have been following me on PS4, Gmia, Gmia. I am not on Xbox. If you are following somebody on Xbox by the name of GmiasWorld, anything with that, you are being frauded up, bro. Don't respond to them on Xbox ever. All right, so listen. Let's go ahead and jump into this whole situation that you guys have been asking about. Day 1 Madden 20. Who should you power up first? Now, this is very, very good that you guys are giving me all this feedback because I know now what you guys are most interested in, and you guys are continuing to let me know, like, yo, bro, what about this? What about that? So every chance that I get as I review the comments, I'm going to possibly be answering the question that you want about day 1. So definitely stay tuned, leave a comment, and hit me up on Twitter at GmiasWorld. Definitely give me a follow, Facebook, Instagram, all at GmiasWorld. Now, let's talk about Madden 20 really briefly about the skill positions. The NFL players have been going crazy, completely wild about their ratings, and like EA Sports has said, they had to switch up the way that they did their tiers in order to make the gameplay different, because obviously we've been going through a lot of problems with the way that Madden has been playing over the last 4 or 5 years. In doing that, they have stretch ratings. What does that mean? That means that throughout the year, they're going to be able to develop different tiers for certain players that are lower overall. Like some of you guys are raging. I think Dak Prescott is like an 81. Well, like I said, Dak Prescott is, I don't know. I'm not going to go ahead and get you Cowboy fans riled up, but it is what it is. But listen, based on the stretch ratings, he has the potential to exceed and keep going. It has nothing to do. Jerry Jones and his son has not paid him yet. I don't know if that's a good look for you Cowboy fans, but just understand this. If he goes out and balls, he will be able to elevate his ratings and possibly get X-Star, X-Factors, all that stuff, Superstar X-Factor abilities and things of that nature. So all hope is not lost. So when you're looking at the way that the game plays and the way that they're starting off with so many less overalls of higher tiers, this is what you have to understand. The pass rush is completely crazy in Madden 20. As long as they left it the same way, which I believe that they've said over and over that they will, it's going to be something that's going to require you to have players that have certain attributes, not so much based on overall. You see, that's what the issue is that's been going on over all these years. Even though when I first started playing MUT, I didn't care about a 99 overall. I think I started playing, what was that? Like Madden 12. I didn't care about 99 overalls. I just wanted players with certain attributes that I know could beat the other player. You see what I'm saying? Like, I would go after Randy Moss even when they had like different versions of him. I just wanted him because of the speed. I didn't care that he didn't have certain things and whatever. Like he didn't have really good strength or whatever. He wasn't a good run blocker. I didn't care about that. I wanted the speed. Madden 20 gears up that way as well. So look, let me give you guys an example. Let's use Larry Allen, for example, right? If we go there and we look at his stats, obviously this guy's a 99 everything, right? Say they release an earlier version of him and he's like, 85, 86, whatever it is, like a lower overall. And you're looking at the attributes, right? You're going to have to look at certain things to counteract what most of these pass rushers are going to be doing. Keeping in mind that he's a right guard. All right, so he's right next to, he's right next to your center. You got to make sure, like, all right, who are the best D tackles in the game? Like Fletcher, you got those guys, obviously people are going to be running around with Aaron Donald, switching them around, D tackle, left hand, he's going to be all over the place. Where would he be the best fit based on some of his attributes? Obviously, we're going down and we're downgrading him to like an 86, whatever. So, his pass block footwork might be like an 85, 86, 86. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're going to have that threshold of those specific attributes. You guys are going to see more often than not that players are going to be designing their teams based on specific attributes as opposed to overall. So what does that mean about who you should power up first? Should you be scared and just know that you're going to get sacked every snap if you come out with a weak offensive line? I don't want to say scared, but I'm going to tell you this right now. If your O-line is not ready to rock and roll, you're going to have a lot of issues, dog. And I don't want to tell you, bro, power up your offensive line first, but I sort of want to let you guys understand that your O-line should be formidable, like 85s minimum, all right? 85s minimum, because those 85s are going to have certain type of run block, pass block, and certain protections that put them at a different tier, because the tiers are different. That's the whole thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, they have a whole system of why the players are ranked lower than the other ones, and they want you to see the effect of it. So like the tiers are going to vary, and specific attributes, which I am going to reveal to you guys as soon as EA gives us more information. You're going to need certain tiers of that player to be able to counteract certain pass rushes. Now, let me point this out though. If you are unfortunate enough to run into a guy, like if you're playing regs, you know, you got to probably get the team with a decent O-line. I really liked the way that the Saints played with the beta, even against, like, you know, Aaron Donald and them boys with the Rams. They still held up pretty well. But if you're playing regs, you're going to want to make sure you check out O-lines first, just so you know that. But right now, we're specifically talking about Ultimate Team. But I do have a lot of people that are asking about regs. Regs is a little bit easier because everything is already set for you. You already know who your X factors are. You know everything that's going on. You just got to pick the best team that kind of counteracts everything on both sides of the ball. So that's a whole nother issue. But for MUT now, right? When you pick up, like, when you're trying to power up the first player that's going to impact the way that your team plays, I would probably go, you know what I'm saying, quarterback, wide receiver, cornerback. And then the other players that you pick, you just get them at decent, you know, overall thresholds, and you can kind of hold off on the training point situation. And let me explain to you why I'm choosing quarterback first. Right now we're experimenting, so we have Andrew Luck, right? Let's just look at some of these ratings. If you guys didn't notice, in the beta, Drew Brees' arm was about as useless as, like, yo, bro, that dude, I don't know what he was doing, but he didn't have the throw power, obviously, that like, he couldn't even throw the ball as far as Jared Goff, which was kind of weird. I know that, you know, obviously he's lost a little bit of arm strength, but it was wild in the beta. Let me explain why that's important. If you look at your quarterback's throw power and it's low, it's going to reflect more than ever in this year, because they've made it a point to not make them throw the ball deep past a certain point based on their throw power. And that's all because of the cover man, who is Patrick Mahomes. So if you don't have a Patrick Mahomes in MUT, you're not throwing that ball wildly no more. You know what I'm saying? So if you get a quarterback that needs, like, some upgrades, whatever the schemes you're going to need to do, you're going to have to focus on making sure that that quarterback has the right type of throw power. Now, the reason that I choose the quarterback as one of the most important positions to power up first is because he touches the ball every play. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's the guy that has to have it. Like, you got to make sure that he has everything that you need to make plays every single snap that you touch the football. Now, I go to wide receiver afterwards because speed is back. Like, it's, bruh, if you played the beta, you know speed's back. So if I have the opportunity to be able, if they have, you know, similar ways to upgrade certain things on a receiver who's already fast, to enhance his catching, his spin move, all that kind of stuff, I'm going to make sure that that player can make those plays after the speed. You see what I'm saying? Like, more than likely, I'm going to go with a naturally fast wide receiver so that if guys come out playing stupid coverages that they were playing in 19, now you can burn zones once you go step for step. You can get past that situation. You no longer can come out and cover for a drop and just press and your deep blue stays with them all the way down the field. You can now get past that if your player is faster than the other player. So with that being said, what else would you need? You're going to need to upgrade other attributes. So let's go to wide receivers and take a look at what attributes I'm talking about. If we look at wide receiver 1 right now on the squad, you will see that that's Julio Jones, who got snubbed as a 98 overall in regs. All right? Yeah, he got snubbed. Now, getting back to what I was saying, he's obviously going to be probably like an 88, 89 at launch, right? So his speed is probably going to be the similar thing, 88. EA loves putting 88s on cards, right? So typically the faster receivers is probably going to top off at about 91, 92. They probably will give Tyreek Hill and Hollywood Brown a little bit more, but it is what it is. Whatever they start off with MUT, we'll know very, very soon. After the speed situation, you need to focus on everything else, because they've made it a point to make sure that players don't run crossing routes the same exact way that everyone did in 19, so you can just always be wide open. They won't cut the same way. They won't catch the ball the same way. If they don't have a certain type of X factor, you can't do certain things. You know, you don't got double me. You're not just jumping up in the air and being an idiot anymore. You can't be an idiot anymore. Like, you just can't continue to do it consecutively and get away with it. Your player has to have the attributes that are necessary in order for you to be doing that. You know what I'm saying? Because me, myself, I was playing like a total idiot. After I realized what 19 was about, bro, stamp idiot on my shirt, I'm out. Let's go. Let's do this. I didn't care no more. So now that you have to have certain things to be able to do that, what are we going to do here? we're going to focus on those things to get our player a little bit more advantageous than the other players. So we're going to make sure, based on what's available, that we give our receivers the best chance to make the most plays. Again, I'm going speed first, and I'm going to use training to upgrade the catching and the route running and everything like that, because speed is definitely back. All right? Now, you guys might be saying, okay, what about your running back? Running back is extremely ideal, but I would probably, after I'm done with the quarterback and the wide receiver, I would go cornerback, because like I said, I'm going to try to give my linemen 85s and, you know, take my time with that, because I think that once we get those certain attributes and certain tiers, we'll be fine. The cornerbacks are going to be extremely important. All right? That's going to be like, bro, it's no more of the foolishness. I will tell you this, though. I did notice that if you had players with higher press in the beta, that they would be, you know, they, depending on who they were going up against, they would definitely, it was more effective. But it was also critical with the speed factor. If the player was slower, as soon as the offensive player made a move or he got off or whatever, you're no longer able to slide into the player the way that you were able to do it in 19. You actually can play like the real NFL. You lob it over the top and you can actually continue to run and do what you have to do. It's an amazing thing. So happy that EA finally decided to give us that back. Okay, so you're gonna have to make sure that your corners have decent speed. Now, you still can play zone backed off. I'm just letting you know that if you press, regardless if you adjust the zone, you're gonna get beat deep. I tested it out with different, hot routes to change the deep blues to the outside quarters, everything. You get burnt regardless. So those are certain things you're gonna have to worry about as far as the speed. After all of that is done, then you're looking at, zone, man, stuff like that. But speed is so critical. All right, D-line, you're gonna be looking at a lot of block shed and finesse move. All right, power move, stuff like that. I'm going to get more into that as we get more information about that. But I would go corner afterwards just to make sure, because you don't want to get beat deep. These guys, you could give the outside guys some core stuff, maybe get the D-tackle something. When I say core, I'm talking 85 minimum to kind of just make sure at launch that you're doing pretty well. So that's what we're working our team up towards. And in doing that, we're going to be doing missions and stuff like that, trying to get some free stuff, obviously doing solo battles to start off to kind of get some packs from EA to get up and running. So that's where I would start. As we go forward and the game is released, I will update you based on what we see that they've changed and what we should be looking for. All right, so don't get too anxious with it. I would definitely start with the quarterback position. I told you guys it's a completely different game, and you will notice through windup and the way that they move that it's very, very critical that your quarterback is one of the first things that you power up day one of Madden 20. As always, continue to leave your comments. I will get to your question eventually. Thank you guys so much for subscribing. Remember to follow me on PS4, Gmia, G-M-I-A. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, all at GmiasWorld. I'm going to see you guys and girls next time. One love.